Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Movie Time with Chris, the channel devoted specifically to movies, movie trailer discussions, movie reviews, movie birthdays, box office results, with some special videos along the way. Now, hey, if that sounds like something that you're into, if you love the trailer discussions, if you want the movie reviews before you check it out at the theater, or hey, if you just love movies, subscribe to this channel. You're going to get all of that great content that you love and then some. Today, we have a lot going on. So, we're just going to go ahead and kind of jump right into things. Trying to keep this video short, so each topic I'm just going to kind of touch upon and move along. So, starting out, we're going to do our box office recap for this past weekend, which was September 21st through the 23rd. And um, I don't think I did a prediction for this, but here are the results anyway. Coming in at number one, we had The House with the Clock in Its Walls. And this one just kind of dominated the box office this past weekend, pulling in $26.6 million. Took it away because number two, with less than half of what that movie made, we have A Simple Favor, which did $10.25 million. Number three, we had The Nun, which made $9.97 million. I'm surprised it's still bringing in that money because I didn't think it was that good. But that was a different video. We're going to move along. Coming in, number four, we had The Predator, 9.2 million. This is another one I'm surprised it's still making some money. I haven't really heard any good reviews for this movie. I haven't seen it yet for myself, so I don't know, but it's still making money. I'm hoping it's better than what everyone's saying. And rounding out the top five for last weekend's box office, we had Crazy Rich Asians, still hanging on strong, still in that top five, made $6.3 million. That movie is just going. Doesn't want to give up its hold on that top five. But yeah, those are the movies. Congratulations to, Jack Black's film, House with a Clock in Its Walls, really just dominating. I mean, if you add up almost the other four, you might get close to what Jack Black's movie did in this 1 week. Or no, actually, you'd go over. To, yeah, you'd go over a little bit. That's crazy. That the number one movie did a little bit worse than the following four. But hey, today is Friday, so I'm going to throw out my box office predictions for this weekend, September 28th to September 30th. Now, normally I post a picture of it on Instagram and Twitter and Patreon, but I figure since I'm doing this video, no point in posting a picture. Just go ahead and get it out there in the video. So, my predictions for box office, top five box office for this coming weekend. We have number one, I think The House with a Clock at Its Walls is still going to hold on to the number one spot just because it is like a family film that people can, it's a family film. It's not restrictive. Sorry. Of a certain age group or anything like that. It's just it's bringing everybody in. I think it's still going to hold on to the number one spot. Number two, I think, is going to be Hellfest. The reason I put this at number two and not number one is I just don't see a lot of people seeing this movie in the theater. I mean, I could be wrong. There's a ton of people that go to, Halloween Horror Nights and Howl Scream and all those things that they have. So maybe this will be number one. My guess, it won't be, but I've been wrong before. Um, Number three, I have A Simple Favor. I think it's still going to be holding on to the top five. I think that's going to be like the Crazy Rich Asians. I foresee that being in the top five for a little while. So I think of the movies, it will come in number three. One and two are definitely going to battle it out between those films. Hi, Nebs. Um, but I think number three would be Simple Favor. Number four, I have Night School. Now, the only reason I have this in at number four um, is because I'm assuming it's going to be rated R. And a rated R comedy with what everything else is doing. I mean, Hellfest, I'm sure is rated R, but it's a rated R horror film. Everyone wants that, so I see Night School not being in that top three this weekend, but it still has a chance, so it's going to be in the top five. That's why I put it at number four. Number five, I have Smallfoot. That new animated film with Channing Tatum, kind of the reverse, looking at life through the eyes of Bigfoot, looking at us. Um, I think it's going to make some money just because, it is a kids' movie. And if parents want to take their kids to the theater on a weekend, if these are the choices, they're going to be like, oh, House with a Clock on the Walls. It's House with a Clock in the Walls is going to be, crowded, packed. Let's go see Smallfoot. So I really just see Smallfoot being in the top five because it's getting the run over from the others. But those are my predictions. That's what I think the top box office is going to be for the weekend of September 28th to September 30th. So moving on to new topics. Originally, when I started this channel, I started it with the basis of just movie birthdays. I thought it would be interesting for people to hear about movies that came out this week in history and kind of be like, wow, that came out that long ago? Now I feel old. That's really why I started this channel. And I know the last few weeks I haven't been doing the movie birthdays. So I figured new camera angle. Also, new shirts. I started making shirts for my channel, Movie Time with Chris. But anyway, going back. New angle, new shirts. Let's start fresh. Let's do some movie birthdays. So let's get back into it. Celebrating their fifth birthday this week, we have Runner Runner, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2, Gravity, and Baggage Claim. Now, I saw maybe 5 minutes of Runner Runner. Justin Timberlake, I think Ben Affleck's in it. That's really all I know about the movie. I don't really know anything else about it. I didn't see it. The same with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. The second one. I saw the first one. I screened it at the theater. I enjoyed it. There was a few things that I was like, wow, this is kind of risque humor, but it's a kid's thing. I don't know, but whatever. I never checked out the second one, so I don't know really anything about it. I'm assuming there's still food falling from the sky, but that's really all that I would assume. But those are the only two movies that I have not seen, so can't really touch upon those. But Gravity and Baggage Claim. Now, I saw Gravity in the theater, and, George Clooney, Sandra Bullock. It's really just Sandra Bullock. George Clooney's not in it that long. I kind of liked the ending, but I mean, otherwise, yes, it was kind of suspenseful just because you put yourself in that person's position, being in space, and space alone is scary. In space, no one can hear you scream. Reference to Aliens. But I don't know, this movie, everyone was talking about how great it was, and I didn't see the greatness. You know, I thought the effects and anything to do with being in space, the effects that they have to pull off are amazing. So I like that aspect. Again, the ending was interesting, but the rest of the movie, I don't think it was worth all the hype that everyone was giving it. And Baggage Claim. This movie, romantic comedy, I enjoyed it. It's fun to watch if it's on. I kind of relate it to like the Best Man movies. When they're on TV, you watch them because they're just fun to watch. Uh, but that's really all I got to say about it. It's fun. Celebrating 10th birthday this week. I know I'm taking a little too long. I'm going to try to speed it up here, guys. 10th birthday this week. We have Eagle Eye, Choke, and Fireproof. Now, these I've all seen. I got to tell you, Fireproof was not what I was expecting when I walked into the theater. I knew it had to do with a fireman, and that's really it, just by the title, Fireproof. But it ended up being a, oh my God, Kirk Cameron, like religious film. And I'm all for, religion. He has his religion. That's great. Good for him. But I feel like you shouldn't be making movies in the theater about it because people go in unless like you strongly advertise that that's what it is. Because people are going to go in and be like, I didn't want to see a religious film. I should have guessed because it had Kirk Cameron, but anyway. Eagle Eye, very interesting movie. Shia LaBeouf in it, a movie I actually enjoy with him. There's not too many, but I like this concept of kind of Big Brother watching everything and kind of hindering us to save us. Kind of the same thing from iRobot. It kind of perverses the whole thing of you shouldn't do harm to humans, but we harm ourselves. And the computers are trying to stop it. It was an interesting concept. I enjoyed it. And finally, Choke. The poster, it shows just the character, outline face, choking with like a person. And I'm like, okay, you walk in, you start watching the movie, and he talks about how he chokes on food on purpose to kind of get people to save him, and then they kind of take care of him because they feel responsible. And but at the same time, it's a movie about sex addicts, and they go to meetings, and instead of Alcoholics Anonymous, it's like Sexaholics Anonymous, and it was just a weird movie. It was enjoyable to watch, but I've only seen it once, and I'm okay with that. Moving on. I'm trying, still taking too long. Celebrating 15th birthday this week, the teenager. We have The Rundown. This was an early movie for The Rock when he was The Rock and not the Boulder, and it was enjoyable, to see his acting skills. I mean, I know wrestling is acting, but when you look at that, what was it, The Mummy 2 that he was in, and The Scorpion King, like, but this one was really enjoyable. I liked it. It was really the only movie that came out 15 years ago. Just to touch on that, there are a lot of things that come out each week in history. Um, so the ones I pick are usually the ones that I feel are the most popular, the most well known. So I'm sure other things came out, but the only one that stuck out to me was The Rundown. And I enjoyed it. It's one of those other fun films when it's on, you just have to watch it. The Adult, celebrating the 20th birthday this week, we have Urban Legend. Now, this is a film I've probably seen maybe 2 or 3 times. I didn't see it in the theater. Oh, excuse me. But there are certain scenes about it that still kind of stand out to me. The whole thing with, driving and flashing your lights if someone doesn't have their lights on, and then that person turns around and follows you. And the worst part, putting the dog in the microwave to dry it. And, you know, those are the things that stand out to me. The legends, the urban legends. The actual movie, I really couldn't tell you anything else about it. And again, I've seen it a few times, but nothing grasps me. Um, but 20 years, I'm sure a lot of people like it. People could probably go on and on talking about it. I'm just not one of them. But those are the movies celebrating their birthday. Happy birthday, guys. We're moving on. So, we've had quite a few trailers that have come out lately. Um, Again, I'm not doing trailer reactions just because of the whole copyright content and videos being blocked, and I figured I would just bypass that altogether, um, and just have the discussion, the after effects. So I'm basically just taking me watching the trailer out of it, but you guys can see the trailer anytime and understand what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and talk about these trailers. We had the Bumblebee trailer, and I don't even think I had that listed on, you know, my topics to talk about, but there was a new trailer that came out, and I got a chance to watch it. And I tell you, I mean, the same way I felt when they had the teaser trailer that came out. People loved Bumblebee in the Transformer movies. I think they loved Bumblebee more than probably any other character. So I think it's right that they go ahead and give him his own movie. And I think this one will probably be a bigger hit than if they had done another Transformers film. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, the only thing that really confused me about it, I mean, maybe I'm a little hazy on my Transformers knowledge of way back, but there's the scene where Bumblebee kind of is getting a message from Optimus, and Optimus is saying, you've got to protect Earth and its people, but Optimus has like the old school cartoon like truck formation. And in my head, I'm like, wait a minute, because in Transformers that came out with Shia LaBeouf, um, when they landed, they weren't in that kind of form. They were still Transformers, but they landed, and then they kind of took the form of whatever was around so that they could fit in. And Optimus saw the truck, and that's when he became the truck. I feel like there aren't a lot of trucks driving around on Cybertron, so how would he know to form into that? I don't know. It's just that's the only thing that really bothered me about it. Only because again, maybe my memory of Transformers and history is a little hazy, but that's that. Moving on, there was the trailer for Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, the final trailer, and I gotta tell you, this movie. I saw the first one. It was intriguing. I liked it. It didn't get me hooked like the Harry Potter films did. But this trailer definitely looks like it's going to get me hooked. They show Nagini as a person and then forming into the snake. And, if you've seen the Harry Potters, you're familiar with Nagini. That was Voldemort's, right hand snake. It was one of his Horcruxes. So you also see Johnny Depp's character with the Elder Wand. And we know that Dumbledore ends up with that. That's how he cheats when he fights Voldemort, but that's a different topic. So I like to see that there's more ties in this film to the Harry Potter than there were in the other one. I understand the first one, you've got to build up the characters, build up the story, build the universe, so to speak. But in this one, I like that they show Dumbledore um, as a young man. They have the Elder Wand, so you're going to understand where that came from, and maybe they'll show how Dumbledore gets it in this one. Maybe they'll save it for a later film. You see Nagini, and you understand. Oh, look, there's Voldemort's snake, and so they show Hogwarts. There's a lot of things that tie it into the universe of Harry Potter, and that's what I enjoy about it. So I'm excited for this movie. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm sure it's gonna do amazing, like all the Harry Potters do at the theater. But yeah, it was a great trailer, very enjoyable, very informative, and I liked it better than any of the other trailers that they've done. But moving on, again, trying to keep this video short. Um, oh, brain fart. Creed 2. That first trailer, I mean, they really get you with just the music alone. You know, the way that they tie the music into these trailers to build up that emotion. The first trailer they had for Creed 2 definitely did it. This one hits it even more because it just kind of starts out with like background instrumental music, and then it builds up as the trailer goes, and it builds up your emotion to it as well. You know, tying it back to Rocky 4 and how now Adonis is trying to kind of avenge his father. And honestly, from what I took away from the first trailer to this one, in the first trailer they show him training at, Apollo's gym. And Rocky's not there. It's the other guy's son. I can't remember his name. Apollo's trainer. His son is running the gym. So in that first trailer and a little bit in this one, you see Adonis training there. So it's like, did he go back to LA to, like, is that where he's training now, that he is the lightweight champion or whatever weight he is? Is he training there? Is that like where the challenge is issued? And maybe he fights, Drago and loses. And then that's why he comes back to Rocky in Philly and trains with him and then fights. Maybe that's why Rocky's like, now you know what you're fighting for. Maybe he fought him early in the movie, lost, and had to go back to Philly with Rocky and kind of touch up on things and then fight him again. I would like that aspect. It kind of ties it into Rocky 3 and Rocky 4. Rocky 3, I think, is, I enjoy Rocky 1. I like Rocky 2. I think Rocky 3 is the best one of them all because you see Rocky lose. And he loses the title and he wants to quit. And Apollo says no. And Apollo drags him out and trains him, gets him back in there. So I think it would fit in, if they're going to try to mirror the other Rockies, to have that. Have him there, training in this gym. He's already a title holder, so he's a little more comfortable. He's not fighting for it as hard. And maybe he fights Drago and loses. And he loses, and he comes back to Philly, and Rocky kind of takes him under his wing the way Apollo did to Rocky, gets him back into it, gets him back to the basics, and that's why he says, now you know what you're fighting for, and he can go in. I think that would be interesting to show it like that. Have it in an aspect where Adonis loses at the beginning of the film, and now that breaks him down, and now you got to build him back up to the end, to this great fight. But those are my thoughts, and I would really like to see that movie. But if that's not what this one ends up being, I don't care. I'm still going to enjoy it, I'm sure. But yeah. Moving on to the final trailer discussion, the last topic we're going to touch on today. The Dark Phoenix trailer came out. And I know that this one wasn't supposed to come out just yet, um, but it was shown in Russia. Someone recorded it, leaked it, and they decided, hey, it's out there. Let's just release the trailer. I'm I'm excited for this movie. Um, again, just because I feel like they're gonna do Dark Phoenix. They're gonna give Dark Phoenix the justice it deserves. And it's a little iffy with the director because he's a first-time director, but he's worked on the other films, so it's like a fresh take on it. A lot of people didn't like X Men Apocalypse. Um, they were commenting on just anything and everything that they could nitpick on to not like that movie. Saying Jennifer Lawrence phoned it in, and Apocalypse doesn't look like that. He looked cartoonish here, and all this. I think this first time director coming in, he is a fan of the franchise. I think he's going to do it justice, and I'm glad to see all the other characters back. You know, you've got Jennifer Lawrence. You've got, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Kurt Wagner, Nightcrawler. You've got the new Storm Girl in there and Beast. But to see, James McAvoy back, shaved head, Charles Xavier, and Michael Fassbender back as Magneto. I mean, I think he is great as Magneto. He pulls off the cool of a bad guy amazingly. And, he's kind of the bad guy that everyone wants to be because he does it so good. But I like that they're all back in it. And I like that they show the whole getting Jean when she was young and, putting the barriers on her, but her breaking those barriers. I think it's really interesting here, because in X Men The Last Stand, it was kind of the same thing. Magneto was in the woods, he had his whole army of mutants with him, and, Jean kind of shows up. And it looked like that's what happened here. It looked like there was like a city, like a town. And maybe this is just a town that Magneto decided to, you know, start up with other mutants. And because Jean is afraid of her powers and, Charles is trying to hold her back, maybe she does like Mystique and kind of follows in Magneto's footsteps to say, hey, how do I unleash this? How do I be better than the humans? As Magneto's train of thought is. So, I don't know. I like that they're still following that. She goes to seek him out in a place, I'm assuming it was a town that had mutants in it. Um, because they have. Oh, God, why am I drawing a blank on everyone's name? Jennifer Chastain show up, and she's telling Jean, she's like, you feel like you don't belong here. You don't. So maybe that's what it is. And she doesn't belong because she is kind of a next generation mutant. But I don't know. We still got a lot of time. This movie's not set to come out till February 14th, which is an odd choice. I feel like that's not really going to be a date movie to go see. Um, but we still got time. I'm sure there are going to be maybe 2 more trailers they're going to release for this movie before it comes out. So hopefully we'll get a little more info. But those are my thoughts on everything. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know about your thoughts for last weekend's box office. Let me know your thoughts for my predictions for this week's box office. Let me know if anything stands out to you about the movies celebrating their birthday this week. Let me know your thoughts on all these trailers. The Bumblebee trailer, Fantastic Beasts, the final trailer, the Creed 2 trailer, the Dark Phoenix trailer. Let me know your thoughts. Comment section below. Again, I have new shirts that I started making. If you guys like the shirts, let me know. As always, you guys can follow me on Twitter. It's Movie Time with C1, the letter C, the number 1. And on there, again, I'm going to be doing my box office predictions, letting you guys know when I'm going to be uploading videos, when videos are uploaded. I'm going to have, pictures and updates on there, so you could check that out. Also, you can find me on Instagram, Movie Time with Chris, movie_time_with_Chris. And on there, you're going to see the little snippets of videos I've already done. You're also going to get these same updates, my box office predictions, and you'll see when I'm going to be uploading new videos. And I'm usually going to have the breakdown of each topic on there. So when that actually uploads on Instagram, you know that my video is going to be coming soon on YouTube. So check out the Twitter, check out the Instagram. Again, if you guys like what you see, come back to the channel and subscribe. You're going to get all the great content there and then some. And again, the and then some is because I'm here for you. So let's keep the communication going both ways. If you guys ever have a question, a topic you want to hear about, a video you want to see, all you have to do is email me, movietimewithchris@gmail.com. I'm going to check that email multiple times a day. I will not miss your message, and I can guarantee that your question, the topic you want to hear about, the video you want to see, will appear on a future video on this channel. Now, if you're subscribed to this channel, if you like the videos that I do, the content that I provide, the information that I give, you guys can always go and support me on Patreon. On there, I also will be doing my box office predictions, and you'll see videos that I upload as well on that site. So check that out also. But again, let me know all your thoughts, comment section below. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Please subscribe. And until Monday, take care.